Hey everybody, my name is Amanda and I am a registered nurse. I work in a long-term care facility in my local community. So today I realized that the shortage of personal protective equipment, not only for myself, but for all of my friends who work in healthcare, obviously we all know that it is an extreme short supply, scarce, and at times simply not available. So one way I have learned to be able to provide some of this personal protective equipment is to make homemade masks. So that is exactly why I'm sitting in the dark. I just got off work. I went over and I had my aunt, who definitely knows how to sew way better than me, help walk me through a very simple tutorial. And I thought, why not share it with my subscribers? So I pray this video finds you well. I hope you like this tutorial, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel if you're not already. God bless. Let's jump into today's video. Okay, so this is the easiest mask in the world to make, I can promise you. I don't know much about sewing, but my aunt is very well versed in sewing, and this was honestly a very simple project to make. The first thing you're going to do is cut 3 pieces of fabric, tightly woven fabric to be more specific, in the measurements of 6 inches by 9 inches. The next thing you're going to do is cut 2 pieces of elastic, and you're going to cut those about 7 inches long. The thinner the elastic, probably the more comfortable it's going to fit behind the ears of the healthcare worker that is wearing it. So these 3 pieces, you're going to lie down on your cutting board in the order as follows. The middle piece of material lies down first. The second piece of material is going to be right side up, and the third piece will be right side down. So you're going to either pin or clamp the elastic in place about 1/4 of an inch on both sides, as you see that my aunt has done. Once you get that done, you're going to move over to your sewing machine and go ahead and start about 1/4 of an inch inseam in your sewing machine, which basically is in essence just right alongside how the presser foot lays up against the edge of the material. That will give you about 1/4 of an inch seam. Okay, so when you first start, go ahead and do a little bit of a back stitching to add a little bit of security with your seam. When you get to the very end, go ahead and put your needle all the way down and then lift up your presser foot, and you can safely then turn and start working your way down the next side of the material. As you can see, this project goes very quickly. The 1/4 of an inch inseam is very easy to keep, as you're just going right along the presser foot, and you're just holding your elastic in place when you remove either your straight pins or your clamps. As you are sewing on one side, you're going to leave an opening about 2 to 2.5 inches in length. The reason you do this, as you can see, is she's going to flip this right side out, so it actually looks like the mask. What she did there on all 4 sides was just took a little bit of material and clipped at an angle so that your edges, when you flip the mask the correct way, are going to be nice and crisp. So you can take a cap of a pen or a straight device of some kind and push out all 4 corners so they're nice and crisp. What she decided to do here, which other people I've noticed were not doing, is went ahead and closed up that open space and made a very thin, nice seam to give it a nice finished look all the way around the mask. So some people decide to do that at this step, and others decide to do it a little bit later in the project. Either way, it turns out very nicely. So next, we're moving on to making the pleats. So as you can see, she's just folding the mask basically in thirds. So it'll be 3 even sections, and then she finger presses that so you get a nice crisp line, so you know exactly where to make your pleat and where to put your pins. So this can be a little tricky, and we actually redid this twice just to make sure that the pleats open wide enough once the mask is on your face. So it's not a big deal if you mess up the first time. You just take your seam ripper and take out your seam and redo it and make your pleat a little more wide, which is actually what we ended up doing. Once again, this is the easiest mask to make. I hope this video and this tutorial really helps you to be able to make your face masks. Okay, so again, if you chose to close up your open seam already, the only thing left to do in this entire project is literally just make one more strip of stitching down both sides. This secures your pleats nicely in place, and you already have that very nice polished finished look as you've already went around the entire outside of your mask once when you closed up your 2 to 2.5 inch open space. So again, this project was super easy. I'm definitely going to look into working with my church group to donate these face masks, not only to the hospitals, the nursing homes, and doctors' offices in our area, but also going to use these in my own workplace. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. God bless each and every one of you. And don't forget, wherever you are and in all things like making homemade face masks and trying to stay healthy, to stay kingdom minded. And I will see you in the next video.